Okay, guys. Hi, guys. A little bit of an unexpected video from me today. It's a little bit of an update about the actual show. So I'm just gonna wait for about 5 or 10 minutes, about 5 minutes for people to come and join for it to for it to go around Facebook, that sort of stuff, for Facebook to update and stuff like that. I hope you're well and stuff at the end of the day, and it's just a few things that I need to just speak to you about regarding the musician chat show and the update of it. I need to, so I'm gonna wait till uh, about 10 to 12, and then I'll basically start um, with what I'm doing. I'll just put it out there, repost it on my Facebook. Uh, so um, people can um, they can uh, join. Yeah, it's up on there. It is. So I'm just gonna let you just now share it with people. So talk amongst yourselves. That's fine. Just added a few links out to people and stuff. Um, this is also broadcasting on YouTube as well, by the way. It is. So in a minute I will start. I will do. Oh, the screen's gone black. Okay, I'm back again. The screen just went black. Um, I'm starting in a minute. Okay, I think it's 3 minutes in, so I'm going to start. I'm not going to leave people too long waiting. I'm going to tilt the chair back a minute, and then I'm just going to just have a chat with you all about, obviously, this is not my house, by the way. This is the backdrop that I use and stuff. Just makes it a little more professional. Right. Okay, guys. So this video is about musician chat. It is. Now, I've got to talk to you about some things. There needs to be some changes with musician chat. Basically, as you know, the show hasn't run for the last few weeks, but there has to be some things that I have to address that I notice that has been happening. Now, I would like to put a disclaimer in this video with what I'm going to say. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not getting at anybody. And, I understand that everyone is trying to do their best and they've got their own life. But what I'm noticing is that a few people, they are paying to go on the show. They are going to. And then what's happening is that when I come to, say, do they want to do their interview or anything like that at the end of the day, they are changing, obviously, the dates, which is fine, because obviously if people, they can't do it because of commitment or this is that and the other, it is fine. Where it does get a situation where I have to put some sort of rule down is the fact of I need people, if you feel you can't do it at the end of the day, the show, and you are booked for a day to do it and you feel like you can't do it, can you please let me know the morning before? Okay? I understand that people, they can wake up, they can feel ill, they can feel really sick and stuff like that at the end of the day. But obviously, can people please let me know that the morning before, unless it's a situation, an absolute emergency, where someone's been rushed to hospital or something. The reason for this is because I've had a couple of people that have let me know, only a couple of hours before the show, and it's been advertised that they've been going to come on and stuff like that. And I understand that people, they have, issues and stuff like that at the end of the day, or they got suddenly something happens. The problem is, guys, is that this looks really bad on me. This as a presenter of the show, as someone that's working really hard to get this show a sponsor, it looks really bad on me if people are, calling in at the end of the day a few hours before and saying that I can't do the show at the end of the day and stuff like that at the end of the day. Now, people have put up posts apologising and stuff like that at the end of the day, but I just need to address the fact of is that in future, unless it's an absolute, like someone's been rushed to hospital, if you wake up and you feel a bit ill and you think to yourself, I can't do the show, I'm feeling rough, at the end of the day, I'm going to book it for another couple of weeks or whatever at the end of the day, or at the end of the day, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter at the end of the day if you don't reschedule it for another 4 weeks, but I need to know. And I also need to know, because the situation is that there is a backlog of people who has been on a list for a while and they've been waiting to come on and stuff. And if people are cancelling, a lot at the end of the day and stuff like that at the end of the day, it is affecting those people when somebody else could have gone in their place when they had paid for the show and stuff at the end of the day. And this is the other thing I've got to say. These people have paid for, to go on the show and stuff. So if you really feel like you can't do it at the end of the day, or you want to move it to another 2 weeks, please tell me at the end of the day, at least the morning before, or even before then, so I can ring up several people and say, there's a slot free, would you like to do it at the end of the day? And they get to go on. Because otherwise, people are there's about 5 people at the end of the day that are still waiting to have an interview at the end of the day, if you see what I mean. So I just want to address that. Now, I've got to come on to a bigger situation about this, and talk about this. And it's to do with the fact of, right, I have to lay down a rule with people now that once they pay for the show, it cannot go into 2025, because I'm also having people coming and saying to me, I can't do the show now until next year, 2025. I have to make this be now that when you pay the £5, it's up until a year, so you can have the interview up until the 31st of December. Because otherwise, what's happening is potentially, at the end of the day, your interview's been running to next year, when again there are people that want to come on the show, want to be booked. Maybe they can't do it till next year. Maybe they can't pay to the end of the year and the end of the day, and it's taking up a space. So what I'm going to say to people is that if you can't do the show up until the 31st of December, you will have to repay again. And the reason this is being because at the end of the day, because I cannot be having people from this year, the end of the day, after the 31st of December, going all the way into next year, and stuff like that at the end of the day, when I'm trying to get people at the end of the day to actually, to come on this year and to actually do it. So I have to put that rule in place at the end of the day. It's not me blaming anybody or getting anybody, but I just think I have to do that at the end of the day. It has to be valid for a year at the end of the day. So for instance, if you pay, in January, then it's going to last up until the 31st of December. obviously, and that's if obviously I get enough funding obviously back at the end of the day to then rerun the show again next year, which is debatable at the moment. I would also like to say prior to these conversations that it is really important that that obviously people, like I say, they tell me, but if they can't do it or whatever at the end of the day, or they tell me the morning before, whatever, they tell me they can't do it, because if I'm looking for sponsors at the end of the day, and if I'm approaching sponsors to say, would you mind sponsoring the show? So at the end of the day, so the show gets money, I get a bit of money for doing it, and musicians don't have to pay, and we can just run the show at the end of the day and stuff. We could even, run it, 5 days a week, with the money and the resources. Then they're not going to sponsor a show if, for instance, people are cancelling the end of the day, or they're not coming back for their interview at the end of the day. I've had, 2 people that have just gone off and not returned for an interview at the end of the day. And and like I said to you, not only does this sort of thing look not good on a sponsor if I'm trying to get the show sponsored, but it's also not good on me. It's not good to how people look at me as a presenter at the end of the day, like how they look at me. Oh, she's cancelled again, or she said she's running the show and then she's not doing it. That's why I got musicians, they have cancelled, to put a thing up. But I think, just to summarize, I just want to say I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not getting at anybody. I'm not saying anybody's done anything wrong. But I just thought this video has to be, a bit of sort of a wake up call at the end of the day. And I've got to basically get the show more on track and stuff at the end of the day for it to be able to run and for it to be successful, because I enjoy doing the show and stuff. But I think what I can't have is people, counselling at the last minute, unless it's an absolute emergency. If it's a family emergency, or someone's been taken to hospital, or somebody's dying or whatever, then by all means, absolutely yes, 100%. You cannot help that at the end of the day. But if you know in the morning you're going to be on the show, you feel really ill, you need to come and speak to me at the end of the day. And also, if there is a problem at the end of the day that is affecting you going on the show, maybe you don't like being on the camera, maybe you want to do it differently, you need to come and speak to me. Don't run away from it at the end of the day and go, I don't want to do it at the end of the day because it's a video or a camera. Please come and speak to me at the end of the day. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make this interview process at the end of the day, the most comfortable for you as possible at the end of the day. It's not just about running a show at the end of the day and some light at the end of the day, but it's also about allowing the individual to feel comfortable with how they want to be interviewed. So, for instance, maybe some people that want to be interviewed want to have it done pre-recorded at the end of the day. Maybe some people don't want to have an hour at the end of the day and stuff. Maybe they just say, look, Alice, I can't do an hour. It's really straining for me at the end of the day. Can I do half an hour at the end of the day? Absolutely fine. If you do half an hour, I'll do another thing for you for the £5 as well. I'll bung something in there for you as well, so you feel like you got the value. These things, even though I put these protocols in place, like I say, it's an hour, it's on the camera and stuff. These are just protocols to get the show really good at the end of the day, and obviously to have some sort of guidelines down there. But if individual circumstances at the end of the day, or unforeseen circumstances, means that people want to do it a bit different, or they can't because of a condition, or they're nervous, or they've got anxiety of a camera, I completely understand that reason as well at the end of the day. I suffer with anxiety at the end of the day. I have to do things a bit differently and stuff at the end of the day. I'm going into an industry where I've got to be able to adapt to people and, what they tell me, and they say, I don't feel comfortable with this. Okay, then you don't feel comfortable with this. Let's try that. So I'm not going to bite your head off. Please come and speak to me, because I think what would make it worse if people, they felt nervous about something else and they weren't coming and speaking to me about the direct reason. If you see what I mean, that would make me feel like quite upset, if you see what I mean, and stuff. At the end of the day and stuff. Right, okay. I think I've had a bit of a, I'm not going to say a rant, it's just a conversation with you and stuff like that at the end of the day, because I don't want to drop the show and stuff. I mean, for instance, we had the chart show at the end of the day, and I don't know what happened to that at the end of the day. It was going really, really well and stuff at the end of the day, and people just stopped voting on the chart show at the end of the day. We had 2 songs that had 0 votes at the end of the day. One song that had 9 votes and one song that had 1 vote at the end of the day. And what you got to remember, guys, is that I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you by doing this, but I'm also trying to build a public figure and career for myself. And if people are not participating or they're not like doing what I say, like, if for me they're sick or something is wrong and I'm having to close down the show or not run the show, it looks really bad on me to other people out there. It looks like that, that I don't want to do the show, that I can't commit myself to certain things, stuff like that at the end of the day. So please, everyone, please, just take on board what I said today at the end of the day and stuff like that at the end of the day. I'm not your enemy, I'm your friend at the end of the day. I respect all you guys out there. I'm your absolute friend at the end of the day. And I want to help you at the end of the day and stuff like that at the end of the day. I'm not getting paid for doing these shows. That doesn't bother me at the end of the day at the moment. The main thing is I want to see musicians succeed and stuff at the end of the day. That's what I want to. I want to grow a show at the end of the day that, people say, oh, I know Musician Chat. At the end of the day, it's a really good show. I want to get sponsors on board so people know about it. And maybe even some papers write about the show. I don't even know. That's my long-term goal. So please, guys, let's work together at the end of the day. I'll work with you, you work with me. And together, let's make this show really, 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 really good. And all that's left for me to say is, guys, thank you very much. And like I say, at the end of the day, I hope I don't have to do one of these videos like I have done today again, because it makes me feel very uncomfortable at the end of the day. Because I don't like people to see me like frustrated or whatever, stuff like that at the end of the day. But please, guys, just please, like I said to you, watch the video back at the end of the day and stuff. I will put it on my page and stuff like that at the end of the day. Please, just like I've said, just follow what I just said, if you see what I mean. I'll work with you, you work with me, and that will be absolutely great. Thank you very much, guys. And hello to the person who's just joined. I'm not sure who that is. At the end of the day, if you watch the video back on replay, it's just going to go up at the end of the day now. You can see what I've said about 3 minutes in. You can do at the end of the day. As of that, I'm just waiting for people to come on. But if you want to watch the video back 3 minutes in, basically on replay, then that's fine. Okay, guys, thank you very much and have a great day. Thanks.